Forget everything you know about Ethereum, forget everything you thought you knew about Ethereum. We're about to rediscover it together, because the real revolution from Ethereum is still ahead of us. Today we'll explore how the banking system is holding back human progress, what Ethereum actually is beyond the hype, the role it could play during the coming economic crisis. Welcome to channel name. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. For returning viewers, welcome back. Please give this video a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. The Thomas Paine Parallel, Common Sense, and Financial Independence. In 1776, Thomas Paine wrote in his pamphlet, Common Sense. The ideas described on these pages are not yet sufficiently popular among the general mass of people. The habit of not thinking about certain things as wrong creates a false belief in their rightness. This feeling compels people to valiantly defend custom, but over time, they calm down. Time changes people's opinions better than logical arguments. Paine wasn't talking about Ethereum, he was talking about American independence. But what do they have in common? In the near future, Ethereum could help humanity declare independence from the banking empire. Just as American independence wasn't a foregone conclusion in early 1776, Paine understood that American society was significantly behind in its judgments due to attachment to the established order. Old habits die hard. People tend to defend the status quo even when it harms them, simply because that's how it's always been. The paradigm shift moment, when reality hits hard, but common sense prevails when extraordinary events force us to see things differently. It's like a sudden slap that brings you to your senses. After that, ignoring the truth becomes impossible. Perfect example, remote work revolution. Before 2020, countless company executives were against work from home. Office only, physical presence only. That's how real work gets done. Then came the 2020 lockdowns. Companies were forced to work remotely, adapted, and many completely changed their perspective. Now, they wonder why they ever needed those massive offices. The programming in their heads changed overnight. Thomas Paine didn't consider people who opposed American independence to be narrow-minded. He saw these ideas as a test of basic common sense. The idea behind cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, can also be considered a test of common sense. Why crypto makes sense? The logical case for digital money. Crypto money makes international transfers as simple as paying your phone bill through a banking app, streamlining international business. Governments can't print more of it to cover budget deficits, stealing purchasing power from citizens and burdening future generations with debt. Crypto money frees people from strict capital controls, making them more financially free. Using crypto money is logical, it provides freedom. But achieving freedom requires being open to something new and putting in effort to attain it. Not everyone loves to make that effort. In our comfortable world, few people think about how money actually works. They just want as much of it as possible. As long as the monetary system works, the principles behind it are rarely questioned. It's always been this way, so it will continue to be this way. But like any pyramid scheme, the financial system can pay participants for a long time, convincing them of its honesty and transparency, until it suddenly stops. As Nassim Taleb wrote, a turkey is confident that people treat her well since they feed her every day. Only on Thanksgiving Eve will she understand how wrong she was. The inverted pyramid, understanding financial system structure. Here's a great visualization called Exter's pyramid. At the base are real money, gold, which forms the foundation of a reliable economic system. All other types of money higher up the pyramid carry greater risk and significantly larger volumes at each level. Exter sometimes called his model the debt pyramid because he placed gold at the bottom as the only asset that carries no credit obligation. At the very top are derivatives, the largest volume in the financial system. Imagine how stable a proper pyramid is, and how unstable it becomes when inverted. People from traditional markets mostly reject the concept of decentralized crypto money. This is a normal defensive reaction. Bitcoin and Ethereum question the common sense in the current financial system, threatening the status quo where people feel confident. Admitting that a competing system has advantages, logic, And common sense means standing out from the crowd and acknowledging you've been doing something wrong all along. Few are capable of this, especially in the public community of economists and fund managers. The Wall Street awakening, even the giants are turning. Former Goldman Sachs partner and hedge fund manager, now crypto investor Mike Novogratz, looks like a real black sheep among his Wall Street colleagues. But now, more prominent financiers are paying attention to digital assets. Billionaire Paul Tudor Jones recently stated he's considering Bitcoin futures as capital protection against inflation due to massive currency printing worldwide. Another baby boomer surrenders. Most ordinary people think currencies are money, though they're wrong. In our video about the history of money, we detailed why modern currencies aren't actually money. But people perceive currencies as money simply because that's how it's been their entire lives. Hardly any of them have questioned what gives currencies value. Yet, as soon as someone starts talking about cryptocurrencies, everyone suddenly becomes an expert on what is and isn't money. According to people's opinions, neither Bitcoin nor Ether can be considered money. Those at the top of the financial pyramid are quite satisfied with this arrangement. The more limited people's imagination, the more actively they'll defend the current order. The coming crisis, the ultimate economic bubble. We're approaching a defining moment in the world economy with colossal macroeconomic imbalances, bubbles everywhere. The bubble list. Largest stock market bubble in historic, corporate buyback bubble, coming wave of baby boomer retirees pension crisis, largest corporate debt bubble, student loan bubble, loan bubble, and index fund bubble, international loan market bubble, central bank monetary policy bubble, European Union banking crisis. These bubbles inflated for years until early 2020 brought the pin. Market reality check. When over 16 million Americans lost their jobs in 3 weeks, the Dow showed its best weekly growth since 1938. Looking at the Buffett indicator market cap to GDP ratio, American stocks are valued 80% higher than GDP, indicating severe overvaluation. How can fewer than 5,000 public companies be worth almost twice the entire economy? It's hard to imagine a scenario where an inward economic explosion doesn't occur, pulling in savings and pensions of 100 million people like a black hole. Banking stranglehold, the 6% tax on humanity. Banks sit at the foundation of the world economy. They control the flow of money transfers, which, at a basic level, is just moving bits of information in databases. For these primitive operations and access to their outdated system created in the 1970s, bankers charge substantial fees, approximately 6% of global economic turnover. That means 6% of people's working time goes to maintaining the wealth of the banking caste. They claim cross-border transfers are expensive and difficult, which is undoubtedly true. Making FIRE the primitive way is also difficult. That's why people improve in various aspects of their lives. But banks, feeling irreplaceable, aren't rushing to progress. They know we can't go anywhere if we don't want to return to primitive times. Bankers consider themselves apex predators of the financial jungle. This fact seems to give them the right to charge 25-30% annually on credit card debt. But being at the top of the food chain is dangerous. T-Rex was the most terrifying dinosaur. They went extinct. Ants and cockroaches didn't, because they could adapt to changing circumstances. The parallel system, a new financial reality, already exists. The good news: in 2020, parallel financial systems already exist that allow storing and transmitting value directly through the internet, without bank intermediaries. People figured out how to move those bits of information in databases without banks. Now, people can be their own bank. This is especially useful for 1 billion people on the planet who don't have access to banking services and can't participate in the global economy, though they could bring enormous benefits. In developing countries, people more readily use Bitcoin as money than in first world countries because they see common sense in it. When a tool appears that allows financial protection from hyperinflation and corrupt authoritarian governments, they grab it. They don't philosophize about what is or isn't money. They need their currency's purchasing power not to fall by half overnight. Some African countries like Uganda and Zimbabwe are ready to skip a step in financial evolution, moving from cash directly to decentralized cryptocurrencies, bypassing banks entirely. Bitcoin's limitations: why Bitcoin isn't enough. I love Bitcoin and its passionate, idealistic community, but with all due respect, it's not capable of becoming a complete foundation for the world economy. Banking systems and fintech infrastructure built on them provide certain properties: monetary verbs: store, lend, deposit, invest, spend, earn, trade, exchange, and so on. In the Bitcoin network, you can store, spend, and transfer your BTC. It's more like a reliable, impenetrable bank vault, but nothing more. To activate other verbs, you need external intermediaries, which requires trusting them. We need a self-sufficient technical layer at the foundation of the new financial system, one that clearly and impartially performs its functions, regardless of whether people trust it or not. Such a layer exists, and it's called Ethereum. WHAT is Ethereum. Beyond the hype, real understanding: what was all the noise about 3 years ago during crypto's previous peak? 3 main use cases. 1. Decentralized crowdfunding ICOS. 2. CryptoKitties game breeding unique digital cats. 3. Speculation and minting. People talked about decentralized applications, but only a few understood their meaning. The crypto community was divided into 2 groups: those who understood programming and those driven by greed. The first category operated in technical terms within their narrow circles. But if you don't explain Ethereum's significance and value to the general masses in simple language, it remains a crypto-economic blockchain platform enabling autonomous smart contracts. That's why Ethereum can't be positioned as a world computer. While technically correct, this explanation misleads newcomers. Better metaphors: if Bitcoin is digital gold, then Ethereum is a digital economizer, is programmable money. No, you're speaking a language even a 5th grader can understand. Ethereum versus Bitcoin economics: the fundamental difference. In Bitcoin, the network serves the asset BTC, ensuring its value. In Ethereum, the asset ETH serves the network, circulating between users. Ether drives the entire Ethereum economy, as money should. As Ethereum advocate Ryan Sean Adams explains, today's world economic network consists of separate state economies: USA, Japan, China, EU. Cryptocurrencies allow separating economy from country. Ethereum is an economy without a country. It's like having the USA and Ethereum as parallel economic systems. But Ethereum operates globally without borders. Hardware wallet demonstration: securing your digital assets. Product showcase section: Ledger Nano X demonstration and features note. This section appears to be a product placement and can be adapted or removed based on sponsorship. Niche Ethereum economy: programming money for the future. Ethereum in its basic configuration might seem similar to Bitcoin, but there's one conceptual difference. In Bitcoin, the network serves the asset. In Ethereum, the asset serves the network, circulating between users. Ether powers the entire Ethereum economy, as proper money should. Ethereum represents an economy without a country, a borderless financial system that operates on code, not politics. Conclusion: the revolution awaits. We stand at a crossroads. The traditional financial system shows every sign of impending collapse, while a parallel system based on logic and common sense grows stronger. Ethereum isn't just technology, it's the foundation for a new economic reality where individuals control their own money, transactions happen without intermediaries, smart contracts execute automatically, the economy operates globally without borders. The choice is ours. Continue supporting a system that enriches a few at the expense of many, or embrace the tools that can create genuine financial freedom. What's your choice? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Share this video with someone who needs to understand what's really happening to our financial system. Subscribe to not miss part 2 of the series.